auditors visited Mekon Club for a linkers meeting, wherein I delivered my last speech. During that speech, I talked about mental illness and depression and what my experience has been like in the last few months. The video of that speech, of that somber topic, is not available on YouTube. Not because I'm not comfortable talking about it, it's just that I've been too lazy to provide it to Ananda so that he can upload it. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests.
Good afternoon.
So during that speech, I mentioned that one of the side effects, one of the coping mechanisms of that sickness was food. I used to eat to make myself feel better. Overeating became a habit, and right now I'm the heaviest that I've ever been in my life, the unhealthiest. So I decided I should work out to reduce that weight. But when working out was not enough, I made a decision that food needs to be controlled. Currently, I am scheduled to meet a nutritionist, but that's later in October. So while I was waiting, I decided to do some research for myself, which I present to you today. So why is nutrition important? Well, the World Health Organization says that obesity is on a rampant rise. More and more adults and children are becoming obese over the years. Malnutrition also exists in the world, but that is more about food not being available rather than what we are eating. Obesity is as big, if not bigger, if not a bigger problem. Please pardon the pun. So obesity is a bigger problem, and even in India, obesity is on the rise. As you can see, we are rising up the rankings. 5th most obese men in the world and 3rd most obese women in the world. Yes, we are rising, we are getting bronze medals. Is that good? No, it isn't. It's not. It's really bad. A cynic might ask you, why is obesity bad? I don't have a problem with my body image, so I don't mind if I'm fat. So obesity is okay, right? Well, yes, it is okay if you're okay with being miserable, with feeling lethargic and feeling tired all the time. Who here has been sick recently or in the last month? Do you remember how you felt? How you felt less than 100% and how bad that felt? Imagine feeling like that all the time. That's why obesity is bad. So it's important for us to eat properly so that we don't get obese. And that's why you tell the cynic, look at what you're eating. My goal here today is to simplify nutrition to you, not to present a lot of facts, but just introduce you to eating properly so that you build your own interest and you see what you're eating. So let's simplify nutrition. Broadly, you need just 2 groups of things in your diet. You need macronutrients. Macro meaning a lot. That's why I said a lot of this. Now, while I was writing this, I saw that I was putting in a lot of facts, and I was told, Vaibhav, you need to be a little more relatable, otherwise people will fall off the attention wagon. And so I gave each macronutrient a nickname. Right? Carbohydrates, carbs with a Z. That's important. Is that relatable? Carbs with a Z? Right? We need carbohydrates in our diet. I'll come back to it once I introduce the other 2. And so once I saw that carbs is a good nickname, I went to the next macronutrient, which is proteins, otherwise known as GROWs, because it helps us grow, it helps us rebuild our muscles and tissues. And finally, fats, which I nicknamed chips. So as you can see, I have given a rough breakup of what your diet should contain. 50% carbohydrates, because those are the main source of your energy. If you do not have carbohydrates in your diet, you'll be using proteins, and therefore you'll feel weak, tired, your muscles will feel tired. That's why carbohydrates are important. Traditional information tells us that you shouldn't eat carbs to lose weight, but nutritionists will tell you need 40 to 60% in your diet. Protein is about 15 to 20%, and that's meats, dals, and so on and so forth. I'll come back to those specifics later. And fat is important. You have to eat fat like butter and oil or chips in your diet, because fat helps you retain energy longer. So you don't end up using up all your carbohydrates and then feeling tired again. You also need a second group, micronutrients, micro meaning a little. Now, these are a lot of vitamins and minerals that I'm sure you've heard of. But the good thing about this is that you don't need to worry about these too much. All these specific nutrients are needed in such little amounts that as long as you're eating enough different things, you'll fill your requirement. If you're worried about not having enough vitamin C, go eat an orange. That's good enough. You do not need supplements. And finally, water. Drink a lot of it. You know why. So what's the good news? The good news is that in an Indian diet, we got it right a long time ago. Each item in an Indian diet serves its own purpose. Dals and chicken and meats serve the purpose of protein. Bread and rice, rotis, they serve the purpose of starch, which makes you feel full. That's your carbohydrate intake. Curds and dairy help you digest better. So each item on an Indian diet is already giving you most of your macronutrients, and that's all you need to know. So as long as you are having a regular different diet with enough different things, you are good to go. You do not need any help. So where do we go wrong with our Indian diet? Like I said, we have most of the things correct, but we go wrong with evening snacks. Now see, that last item is jhal mudi, and when you tell a Calcuttan that you shouldn't have jhal mudi, there's going to be a riot. But yes, it is the amount of fried food and processed foods that we eat, also our snacks. So if we just cut down, don't stop having them. It's okay to treat yourself every now and then. Just control what you have, mostly have your regular diet. So what's an American diet? Aside from the stereotypical burgers and pizzas, Americans will have a lot of sandwiches, a lot of pastas, pancakes, waffles, macaroni and cheese. Do you see a common theme here?
Carbohydrates.
Breads. A lot of these are starchy items, and that's why you see obesity rates being so high. I'm running short of time, so I'll just quickly conclude with where should you begin to track yourself. There is this wonderful database that we have called MyFitnessPal, which has a lot of ingredients, nutritional information about Indian food that you can see for yourself. You can try the 1 week track plan wherein you are noting down everything you're eating for a week and then check it against the MyFitnessPal database, and you'll know whether you're getting your nutritional information. Finally, if you're not happy, please see a nutritionist. I have scheduled my appointment. I hope to see you all do yours soon. Thank you all so much for listening to me. Over to you, Gupta.